Welcome to my bold and beautiful Today's Show channel. I hope today fantastic for everyone. Please hit the subscribes button and give this video thumbs up. Taylor weighs in on Steffy's controversial decision. The bold and the beautiful reveal that Taylor Hayes will learn 2 secrets and weigh in on Steffy Forresters' controversial decision. Let's talk about the shockers ahead for Taylor and how she'll feel about them. During the Taylor will get updates on Liam Spencer's grim prognosis. Since Taylor knows how much Liam means to Steffy and her family, her heart will break for all of them. Of course, Taylor will be especially devastated for Liam's daughters, Kelly Spencer and Beth Spencer. The thought of Beth and Kelly losing their father while they're so young will be hard for Taylor to even think about. It's Beth's involvement that should make Taylor totally understand Steffy's choice to go against Liam's wishes. Liam didn't want anyone else brought in the loop on his inoperable brain tumor. But Steffy just couldn't leave Hope Logan in the dark. Hope needed to know so she could prepare for the loss of Liam and help prepare Beth for it too when the time comes. Hope was touched and grateful to Steffy for telling her the truth. But B&B spoilers say Steffy will still struggle with some guilt over blabbing. Liam can't control much right now, so he at least wanted to control the flow of information. Now Liam's lost control of that too, even if it's for his own good. Since Taylor will find out about Liam's medical condition as well, that could mean Steffy will once again betray Liam's confidence. However, it's also possible Liam will trust Taylor with the news after she witnesses a dizzy spell, or something along those lines. Liam may decide he doesn't want Steffy to have to lie to her mom, when Taylor could be supporting her. Whatever the case, it looks like Taylor will discover 2 secrets when she learns what Liam's up against, and that Steffy has leaked Liam's inoperable mass to Hope. Taylor will help John Finnegan give Steffy a pep talk since they'll both think she made the right call with her Hope spillage. The bold and the beautiful Steffy will have a lot to get off her chest, and will lean on Taylor as they struggle with all the difficult predictions about Liam's final chapter. Liam's awkward rejection, Hope's wrong turn, Carter's nightmare. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for the next 2 weeks are here. Fans can expect Hope Logan to ask Liam Spencer to reunite. However, Liam wants Hope with Carter Walton. So there will be some misunderstandings and awkward rejections. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Bill Spencer reconnects. Let's begin with Bill Spencer, who reconnects with Liam during the father and son will face the past, and likely smooth things over. However, there is something that Liam needs to tell Bill, and it will change everything. While Liam won't immediately tell Bill about his inoperable brain tumor, it will come out later in the week. Hope Logan's wrong turn. Steffy Forrester Finnegan betrayed Liam and told Hope the truth about the diagnosis. In a preview clip for next week, Hope and Liam sit on a couch together. Hope clings to Liam, emotionally and physically, and asks to reunite. Hope says she doesn't want to be separated from him any longer. However, Liam knows that he is dying. In fact, that is why Liam keeps pushing Hope to forgive Carter, so she has someone to lean on after he's gone. It will lead Liam to awkwardly reject Hope. Then, Liam likely pushes her to forgive Carter again. It doesn't seem like Hope will tell Liam that she knows he's dying. Hope's sudden shift could raise Liam's eyebrows though. Later, Liam issues a private plea to John Finnegan. The good doctor will be in a tough spot when Liam wants him to heal Hope and Steffy's relationship after he's gone. Carter just happens to overhear Hope and Liam's conversation. Carter doesn't know that Liam is dying. So, Carter will think that Hope would rather be with Liam than with him. So, that could lead to some misunderstandings. It could also have Carter turning to Daphne Rose. After all, the nose seems to be in serious heat. Also, Steffy walks in just as Luna Nozawa is begging Finn not to turn his back on her. Later, both Finn and Taylor Hayes assure Steffy she did the right thing telling Hope the truth. The bold and the beautiful. During Steffy and Hope will continue to stand united as Liam's symptoms get worse. It sounds like Steffy might eventually allow Hope to return to Forrester Creations in light of Liam's forgiveness mission. As for Hope, she could decide to give Carter another chance after being rejected by Liam. However, Hope might be surprised to find that Carter has already moved on with Daphne. Say what now? A new Steffy and Hope from Bold and Beautiful? We've written before, and more than once, about how very soapily Right Beyond the Gates is getting, well, not everything but closer to it than any other daytime drama at present. And this past week, It brilliantly ticked another box by cementing a rivalry that promises to be every bit as intense as the one the Bold and the Beautiful has been playing for years with Steffy and Hope. Though if push came to shove, Eva would probably love the chance to get to know half-sister Kat. The entitled brat isn't having it. In fact, when Eva tried to tell her not to take out her anger on Ted, as there's nothing more precious than a father's love, Kat said that her newfound sibling was dead to her. Understandable, given the way that Eva's mom had just blown up Kat's parents' anniversary party and marriage in fell swoop. But still, already, Eva and Kat also have a guy over whom they can fight Tomas. Honestly, they could both do so much better. But then how many times have Bold and Beautiful viewers said the same thing about Hope and Steffy with regard to Liam? In the weeks, months, years to follow, we can't wait to see Eva and Kat take one step forward, 2 steps back in their relationship. Maybe someday, like Liam, Tomas will be diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor, and the sisters who find him appealing will bury the hatchet. As the sun cast long shadows over the cliffs of Malibu, and the latest waves of tragedy rippled through the Forrester, Logan and Spencer families, Taylor Hayes returned to Los Angeles to find herself thrown into the heart of a storm she never anticipated. At the center of it was her daughter Steffy Forrester Finnegan, who had just made a morally complicated, emotionally driven, and deeply personal decision that would reverberate through every family tied to Liam Spencer. What began as an act of compassion, a need to protect and prepare the people she loves, quickly spiraled into a maelstrom of exposed secrets, guilt-ridden confessions, and emotional landmines. The revelation of Liam's inoperable brain tumor came not from the man himself, but from Steffy, who, despite Liam's explicit wishes, chose to bring Hope Logan into the loop. For Steffy, the choice was not about disobedience or betrayal. It was about Beth, about doing the right thing in a situation where right and wrong blurred into one another. She saw the weight Liam carried in silence and knew that Hope, as Beth's mother, needed to know the truth. But secrets never sit quietly on this show, and Taylor, freshly returned from her humanitarian missions and faraway soul-searching, would soon come to learn not one, but 2 earth-shattering secrets. First, that Liam was dying, and second, that her own daughter had betrayed Liam's dying wish. For Taylor, a woman defined by her compassion and clinical empathy, it was a sucker punch to the heart. The gravity of Liam's diagnosis hit Taylor like a tidal wave. She knew what it meant not just from a medical perspective, but from a maternal and emotional one. The thought of Kelly and Beth growing up without their father sent chills down her spine. Kelly, her granddaughter, would have her life forever altered. A hole in her heart she would carry from childhood into womanhood. Taylor, having raised children herself through grief, loss, and abandonment, knew all too well the scars such a trauma would leave. And Beth, sweet Beth, so young, so innocent, would be told someday that her father died of something no one could stop. It was unbearable. But beyond her sorrow lay something deeper. Understanding. Taylor understood why Steffy told Hope. She saw the pain in her daughter's eyes, the desperation in her voice, and the righteousness in her heart. Steffy couldn't carry that burden alone, nor could she bear to watch Hope and Beth move forward in ignorant bliss while Liam withered. Yet still, Taylor knew that Steffy's choice had consequences, and as a mother, she had to help her navigate them. Taylor's first confrontation came in the form of calm compassion. She didn't storm into a room or hurl accusations, no. Her years of experience and therapeutic wisdom gave her the restraint to listen first. And listen she did as Steffy poured her heart out about Liam, about the tumor, about how he'd begged her to keep it quiet and how she simply couldn't. She spoke of Hope's reaction: shock, tears, then gratitude. She told Taylor how Hope had broken down in her arms, whispering thank yous while staring at nothing, and how Steffy felt an unbearable guilt because in giving Hope the truth, she took away Liam's last piece of control. Taylor nodded, quietly absorbing it all, until finally she spoke not as a therapist, not even as a mother, but as a woman who had seen too much tragedy go unspoken. She told Steffy she did the right thing. Sometimes, Taylor said, we must violate a person's wish not out of cruelty, but out of mercy. Liam's insistence on secrecy came from a place of protection, yes, but also from fear, denial, and the quiet male pride that told him he had to die on his own terms. But death, Taylor reminded Steffy, doesn't belong to just the person dying, it belongs to everyone who loves them. And they deserved a chance to say goodbye. That said, Taylor couldn't ignore the fallout. Already the ripple effect had begun. Liam, fragile and frightened, learned that Steffy had told Hope. His reaction was a mix of betrayal and resignation. He didn't rage, he couldn't, but his disappointment was palpable. He had lost more than control. He had lost the illusion of protection. Now Hope knew. And Hope, in true Logan fashion, was reacting with emotion first, logic later. She clung to Liam, begging for a reunion, blinded by her grief and unwilling to face the reality that their reconciliation would be brief and tragic. Liam, ever the martyr, gently rejected her. His mind wasn't on rekindling romance but ensuring a soft landing for those he loved. He told Hope to forgive Carter, to move on, to find peace after he was gone. But Carter, lurking nearby, misheard the moment and misread everything. To him it was a romantic betrayal, one that might push him into the arms of someone far less complicated, like Daphne Rose, whose recent proximity and flirtation hinted at a new direction for his storyline. Meanwhile, Finn found himself caught in a crossfire of emotion. Liam privately asked him to protect the women in his life, to heal the rift between Hope and Steffy, to be a steady hand in the chaos to come. Finn agreed, but not without personal cost. Already, Luna was demanding he not abandon her, begging him not to turn his back, and Steffy's trust in her husband wavered with every encounter. And yet, in this moment, Finn stood beside Taylor, offering Steffy the support she so desperately needed. Together they formed a triad of empathy: mother, husband, daughter, bound by their love for Liam and the agony of what was to come. Taylor's role became pivotal. She not only consoled Steffy but became her advocate, her therapist, her compass. She reminded Steffy of the importance of unity, of helping Beth and Kelly through this, and even of helping Hope. Steffy bristled at the idea, her history with Hope still raw, but Taylor urged her to rise above it. This wasn't about rivalry anymore. This was about children losing their father. As May unfolded, the storyline deepened. Bill Spencer finally reconnected with Liam, father and son mending old wounds in a heart-wrenching exchange. But the truth of Liam's illness still hung unspoken until it didn't. When Liam finally told Bill, the magnitude of it brought the mogul to tears. Taylor watched from a distance, marveling at the humanity emerging in men who so often hid behind bravado. Bill's reaction was not anger or panic, but sorrow. Pure raw sorrow. And for Taylor it was another layer of grief, because as much as she despised Bill for his past with her family, she saw in him a man losing his son. And that pain united them all. Meanwhile, Hope's reaction took a turn. After her rejection from Liam, she returned to Carter, unsure of her heart but unwilling to be alone. Yet Carter, haunted by what he overheard, began distancing himself, leaning into a flirtation with Daphne that offered none of Hope's complications. Hope spiraled. Her life was unraveling. Her daughter's father was dying. Her love was fading. And her emotional anchor Liam kept pushing her away. When Steffy tentatively opened the door to Hope returning to Forrester Creations, it wasn't just a business decision, it was a symbolic gesture of unity. A peace offering. Taylor once again guided the transition, urging both women to rise above their pain and embrace a future neither had expected. Throughout it all, Taylor remained the steady heartbeat in a world falling apart. Her role was not to fix everything, no one could, but to offer clarity in chaos. And as she weighed in on Steffy's decision, she did so not with condemnation but with wisdom. She reminded everyone that death tests not just the dying but the living. It brings out the best and worst, the strength and the fear, the love and the loss. And in Liam's final days now marked by increasing symptoms, dizzy spells, emotional flashes, Taylor would become the glue holding fractured relationships together. Her sessions with Steffy deepened. Her support of Finn grew. And even her brief interactions with Hope were filled with grace, understanding that the mother of Liam's child was now part of this grief web too. In the end, Taylor's perspective became the audience's mirror. She voiced the conflict we all felt. Did Steffy do the right thing? Was breaking Liam's confidence a betrayal or a gift? Could hope be found in sorrow? Could enemies become allies in the face of death? Her answer, subtle and powerful, was yes. Because sometimes the hardest decisions are the most necessary. Because sometimes the truth, no matter how painful, is the most merciful thing we can offer. And because love, in all its messy, complicated, beautiful forms, is the only thing worth clinging to when everything else is slipping away. As the story barrels forward and Liam's condition worsens, Taylor Hayes stands not just as a mother or a therapist, but as a beacon of light in the gathering dark, a reminder that healing doesn't always mean fixing. Sometimes it simply means holding someone close while they fall apart.